Hello and welcome to Toffee TV. This is the Sunday Something with myself, Paul Nealon. We are here talking on Sunday evening. Liverpool have been beaten 4-1 by Manchester City. Phil Foden running the show in that game, but we're here to talk about Everton getting a 3-3 draw against Manchester United at Old Trafford. A last gasp equaliser by Dominic Calvert-Lewin to save the day and save Robin Olsen's blushes in many ways. We'll speak about it all, but firstly we'll speak about the lineup. Robin Olsen in goal, Jordan Pickford still out injured, and I think Robin Olsen deserves a spell in the team as number one, even after yesterday's performance. I think Pickford's been doing well up until recently, and then he made the mistakes against Leicester. And for me, he just needs to be dropped for a long time to realise that you can't just keep making these mistakes that are costing us games, because we would have beaten Leicester had it not been for that, you know. So unfortunately that keeper position is very much a problem position right now, but Mason Holgate at right back, that made sense considering the pace that we were going to be up against and the fact that we were going to be sitting in a low block and expecting United to put a lot of pressure on us. So that made sense for me. Michael Keane and Ben Godfrey, again, to give us that pace. We had Ben Godfrey in there, who has been an absolutely unbelievable signing and can play anywhere and play well anywhere. Michael Keane, again, he's had a really, really good season. Looks to be playing his best football in as long as I can remember anyway. And Luca Dina at left back was back to his best as well. I think he gets a bit frustrated playing in this low block because it doesn't allow him to maybe flourish as much as he would want, but it's so great to actually have him back playing left back to give us that creativity that we need. Then in midfield we had Tom Davies, Abdoulaye Doucouré and Andre Gomez. I thought the three of them played well as well. And then we had Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison and James. So I understood the lineup. We kind of felt like we were going to be sitting. That made sense why Tom Davies was in there. Soon enough we'll have Alan back and we'll be able to go back to being the team we were at the start of the season. You would like to hope if we have our midfield the way we would actually really want it. So I think when we're looking at this game, I thought, like the other games when we were playing the top teams, we were going to have to sit back and absorb, and that's what we did. Unfortunately, we sat back too much in the first half, and it told. I mean, you look at the two goals that they scored. The Rashford cross, we let him have all the time in the world, and he whips in the ball. It was a great ball, to be fair, but it wasn't defended. And then Cavani pops up, and you can't give Cavani chances like that in and around that area. He's punished us, he's scored against us every time he's played us now, and he's proven to be a really good signing for them. And then the second goal, we just sat back and let Fernandes do what he wants, and he just took the piss. You could see even in his celebration, he was just taking the piss at that point, and you could see Carlo getting really frustrated at that point. I also think that right back position is it's somewhere we really need someone in the summer. Whoever it is, we need to get someone in quick. Mason Holgate is not a right full, and that's not a slight on him. He's a centre back and a very good centre back, but he's not a full back. We can get away with playing him there against smaller teams and not as good opposition, but up against the likes of Rashford and stuff like that, he is just he's not what we want in there, I think, anyway. So you look at in the first half, you could tell Carlo was very, very frustrated, and it was coming to a point where you just knew that they were getting a rocket up the arse for the second half, and they came out then, straight away, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin runs down the line, gets I suppose it was a cross. You never know with him, but he kind of just hits it with like the outside of his right foot. De Gea palms it straight out to Doucouré, who's there following up in the box, and that's more of what we need to see, is him getting into the box. And I understand he hasn't been able to, because the midfield that we've had surrounding him the last couple of weeks, he hasn't been able to, I suppose, show his best ability, which we know he has, and he's a quality player. And he gets the goal, gets us right back into the game, and then at that point we really start to kind of get a bit of momentum, and a good bit of play on the left hand side. The ball's whipped across, comes to Doucouré. It was an odd pass I found by him, but look, he picked out the right man who was able to control it and smash it home with James. Great finish. It was probably one of very few things he done well in the game. I didn't think he had a great game. I think he needs to be playing against teams that aren't great, and he will just shine so much better. Now there'll be games where he will flourish anyway because he's just that good, but some games he just decides that he wants to turn up, and some games he just decides that he's not going to. But in fairness to him, he got the goal. I think he was going to be substituted off. A lot of people were saying, I don't know how true that is, but not long after Sigurdsson came on. But we just, they get the goal, silly free kick. Robin Olsen slips. They scored a header. McTominay, I think if he doesn't slip, look, it's a standard save, and we probably would have still had the momentum on our side. But the goal that they got completely killed their momentum, and then at that point we were just throwing everything at them, but we just didn't have a whole lot to throw at them. We brought on Iwobi, we brought on Josh King, but we just couldn't get anything going. It was just really, really frustrating. You could see that they were just trying to see out the game, and it was just getting to the point where we just never looked like scoring like we normally do when we're a few goals down. But at this point, we obviously only were the goal down at that point, and we'd shown good character to get back from 2-2 to 2-0 to 2-2, and then obviously the 3-2. But for Josh King, the way he won the free kick in the dying seconds, I honestly thought the game was over. He wins the free kick, and yeah, great ball put into the box, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is played onside by Harry Maguire, who then puts the ball into the back of the net and runs off to celebrate. Now, I did wait till it was absolutely clear that VAR wasn't going to rule out the goal, and I think that's the harsh thing about football these days, is you have to wait to celebrate. Like, that's how annoying it was, because actually, funny enough, the goal that Calvert-Lewin scored last year, where Sigurdsson had to lift his legs up to get out of the way of it, I remember myself and my cousin, we were in a pub in Dublin, and we were celebrating the goal, and then next minute the barman was giving us all sorts of abuse because we spilled points everywhere, and then the goal was disallowed, and they just turned around and was like, oh really, did you have to celebrate that? And we just made it look like fools. So the fact that, I suppose it comes around in circles, doesn't it? So I suppose yesterday it came back that Calvert-Lewin gets the equalizer, and it would have felt like a defeat for them. Absolutely buzzing to get the draw against them. They've been flying recently. They just won 9-0 against Southampton. I know they had a little bit of a blip before that, but they are very much in talks about being in for the title and stuff like that. So I think it's good to pick up points against these types of teams. We need to stop losing against the likes of Newcastle. I am being quite positive, but I can't look that far ahead. I'm always with Everton now. I just take one game at a time and not try to get too excited. We should be looking still to get into Europe, but excuse my nephew there behind me, he's driving me mad. But we should be looking for Europe now, and I think now that we have Josh King in there, he's shown little glimpses of what he can do, but I think he's going to be key for us towards the end of the season. It's nice to have options off the bench. I didn't think Iwobi or Sigurdsson done anything particular, but look, I thought we put in a shift. We knew we were going to be under the cosh for a lot of the game, and to be able to dish out the draw at the end was really good. So as I say, we're going to take each game at a time. Let us know what you thought of the game in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Toffee TV. If you want more videos from me, check me out on Irish Football Fan TV. I'll speak to you soon, guys. Have a lovely weekend, and I look forward to the next game. Speak to you all soon.